Hi, welcome to Think Human. I'm Chris, and in this video I want to talk about studies of addiction and Rat Park. So around in 1970s, bit before that, all the studies done about drug addiction, you essentially take a small cage and you put a rat in there, and then you put some normal water and water laced with heroin. And what do you think what happens? After a little bit of time, the rat goes crazy and only keeps taking at the water laced with heroin, essentially gets dehydrated, doesn't care about food, and just dies in the cage. And what people took from this study is that this is how it works in human beings as well. That this is such a substance that if you have a choice of not taking it versus taking it, people always take it and they go overboard with it, and it's so dangerous and people stop caring about anything, and their lives just go down the drain and all of this. But then some smart people started thinking about how much of this is actually the conditions, the environment, and then something was created in the 1970s called the Rat Park. And essentially, this was a playground for rats. Everything they could want. They had other rats to play around with, a lot of hay, a lot of food, a lot of towers to climb on, water, bed places, everything. They could socialize, walk through tunnels, anything they wanted. And also in there as well, they had normal water and they had water laced with heroin. Now think what happens. Almost none of the rats took this water laced with heroin. Almost none of them cared about it because they had everything they needed. They had a wonderful environment. All their needs were fulfilled. They could have sex and eat and sleep and play and everything, and they didn't need this heroin. So an obvious conclusion from this would be that this kind of addiction and this addictive behavior is the result of bad environment. People who don't have everything they need, they don't have love and affection, they don't have security, they don't have all the food they need. And this is where addiction really does rise, and this is a understanding that really changed the way that people think about addiction and how to approach it. Sadly, a lot of policies still haven't understood that. We prosecute people and put them to jail for being unhappy people. Basically, we're punishing people for being unhappy and having problems instead of helping them and trying to change their environment for the better. This is a really interesting study and gives a clear idea on how addictive behavior changes depending on the environment. Because of course, the rat who had nothing to do, nothing at all, would choose the water with heroin because it's better than nothing. And same way as with human beings in everyday life, if you have nothing, then some heroin is better than absolutely nothing. But as soon as the environment gets better, addiction rates get lower. And this is just interesting. So I wanted to share this with you and I hope you got something interesting from it. Thank you so much for watching and take care.